Ben, welcome to the show, and let's get right to it. Could you sense this year any difference in the relationship between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick?
Well, I wasn't there for a decade, obviously. I was there for 6 years, left for 10, and came back for one final. So my perspective is a little bit different. I think the relationship definitely eroded in some ways over the years. But again, they won championships. They had some high points and some low points. I think any relationship goes through its ups and downs. And so could I sense that the relationship was different than when I left? Yes. But not necessarily in a good way or a bad way. It didn't tell me or inform me that this was going to be his last year, no.
You played 7 of your 16 seasons with the New England Patriots and for Bill Belichick. You think you could have played all 16 years for the Patriots? Is it as fun to play for the Patriots as other places?
I needed to go. When I played my 6 years there, we had a contract dispute coming in, so I had a 6-year deal. That's another show. We can talk about that. I look back on my time there as a time of growth over those 6 years, and there was some great times, and there were some times that weren't so great. I became a free agent, and the Patriots were tacitly interested, but I ended up going on and had a great time in a couple other places before coming back. So when I came back, I was in a different place mentally, physically, emotionally. And I really appreciated being there this year and kind of reconnecting with a lot of people. But as you've heard several times, it's a tough place to play. Coach Belichick demands the most of his players. But with that, he allows you to reach your fullest potential. He will make you a better football player. And kind of the older me really got to see that and appreciate that once I left being there.
Now, Ben, how did the locker room respond, and specifically you, when everyone kept saying that Tom Brady needed weapons, and you were supposed to be one of those weapons? How did you guys take that?
Well, you know how it is, man, with quarterbacks. When a quarterback is successful, it's all the quarterback. When he's not, then he ain't got no weapons. So it's a team sport. I think that as skilled players, you don't take offense. You understand that, look, we got to go out there. We have to make plays. We're in this thing together. There has to be something to talk about in media. They have a job too. They have to create a story, so that has to be something. But I didn't take offense. I looked at it as, look, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna play my best. I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna make plays when I get the opportunity to do so. That's what I'm being paid to do, and that's what I'm going to do. He's now in Tampa. You look at the quote unquote weapons he has there. He's got big, strong receivers. He's got a tight end that's great. Hopefully it works out very well for him. And I actually am, happy that he's getting an opportunity to go there. I think this is what he wanted. And, I'm going to support him.
Now, you got a chance to see Jarrett Stidham every day in practice. What are your expectations of him going forward, since he won't have any weapons as well?
Well, I will say this about Jarrett. He studies. Being in the league for 16 years, and you see a guy come in, especially a quarterback, you can see their demeanor. You can see how they take criticism. Quarterbacks have to be able to take criticism the right way. They also have to be able to take a lot of information and be able to give it to the players in a way for them to understand it. They have to be in tune in that way. I've seen that from Jarrett. Not to mention he got to spend a year in the same room with arguably the best quarterback to play the game. And so all those things combined, also with the fact that he's going to have Josh McDaniels, he's going to have Coach Belichick, he wouldn't be in that room if they didn't think that he could help. Now, all that being said, he has to go on the field and perform. So what I'm expecting of him, number one, is to be fully prepared, because the coaching staff here in New England is going to prepare you to perform to the best of your ability every single week. One thing they will do, you will be prepared. You will study, you'll be in meetings, you'll be ready to go. Now, seeing him actually go out to training camp whenever that starts with coronavirus and see how he proceeds through that, see if he wins the job, see if he starts the first week, see how the season goes. That's what we'll know. But I liked what I saw from him over the last year being there.
Now, you're a great man of faith, not a gambling man, but let's just say you had to wager a little of that tithe on who's going to have the better season, the Buccaneers or the Patriots. Who's going to win more games, Bucs or Pats?
Well, if I was a gambling man, what the Saints have and what they've done is incredible, and what they've done. So, Saints and Bucs in that. Oh, you said Bucs and Pats. I'm sorry, you said Bucs and Pats. If I had to wager, I would say the Pats because of what they've done. They've got Coach Belichick there. They have a system of winning. They have a core group of players that's still there. They've got a chip on their shoulder. They're in a division with Buffalo coming on strong that they're used to winning, they're used to competing in. I think they're going to be prepared with a game plan to go on and win. The Buccaneers, I think, are poised to win too, but they still got to deal with the Saints. And the Saints have been on a run. They've been on a streak. They've been going to playoffs. They've got Drew Brees. That's going to be tough for them to beat them twice. I do think it's going to be competitive, but I will tell you this. You talk about taking some of that tithe. I'll take some of that tithe and go pay for a ticket to go watch those Bucs and Saints play twice a year, because that's going to be an incredible game.
Ben, we got very little time. I got to give you a second to say something beyond sports. What have you learned about yourself during this quarantine? And I'm sorry you only got about 30 seconds.
I've learned about the importance of family. I knew about family. You showed that graphic earlier of me being a baby. I've got twin boys. I've got 5 other kids. There's 7 of us, 7 kids in this house. There's 9 of us when you count my wife. So we're in this thing together. But I've learned really the importance of family, how much our kids really do love each other. They argue, they fight. But the important dynamic of family, I hope, is something that we all bring out of this, and that we create some traditions that we will take as we leave this quarantine time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.